Namaskar friends. Jai Shri Sitaram, Jai Shri Radha Krishna. Today we are starting a series on Srimad Bhagwat Puran. In this episode, we'll talk about the Mahatmya, the power and glory of the Bhagwad Puran. First of all, what is Bhagwatam? It is a Puran about the Leelas and bars of Lord Vishnu. Its focus is on Bhakti, Jnana and Vairagya. It is different from Bhagavad Gita, though many people confuse the two. Bhagavad Gita, on the first hand, is a dialogue between Lord Krishna and his devotee Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where Arjuna was confused about what he should do and what he should not do, and Lord Krishna was advising him as his mentor. Bhagavatam, on the other hand, tells us the stories about the Leelas performed by various avatars of Lord Vishnu on this earth. The Puran is arranged in 12 cantos or skanda. It includes stories about creation, avatars, dharma, and bhakti. The purpose is to establish bhakti as the supreme path in Kali Yuga. It promises moksha or liberation through devoted listening alone. It was composed by Shri Vedavyasa. He narrated it to Sukdev Goswami, who was his son. Sukdev Goswami narrated this to King Parikshit and a gathering of learned listeners. Many noble speakers have spoken it over and over to many devoted listener groups. Sutaji narrated it to Shaunakji and other listeners. Sanat Kumars narrated it to Bhakti Devi, Narad Muni and others, and there are many other retellings of the story. It is not one story which has happened and over. This keeps on happening at different places in the universe all the time. It is eternal or Sanatan. It is considered as the nectar pot or Amrit Kalash or spiritual essence. It promises immortality to the listener through devoted listening. Traditionally, it is narrated in a 7-day series, which is called as Bhagwat Saptaha or the Bhagwat Week. Devotional listening is very important and it grants liberation. First, we will concentrate on 3 stories illustrating the power or Mahatmya of the Bhagavatam. The first story is about King Parikshit. The second is about Bhakti Devi and her sons. The third is about Atmadev and his sons. The first story. King Parikshit was a righteous and devoted king. He is the grandson of Arjuna. After the battle of Kurukshetra, King Yudhishthir ruled for many years, but once Arjuna brought the news that Lord Krishna has left for his abode, Yudhishthir decided to renounce the kingdom. He established Parikshit as the king and the Pandavas left. Parikshit ruled for many years as a righteous king. One day, during his tours of the kingdom, Parikshit saw a demonic character beating up a pair of a cow and a bull. 3 legs of the bull were already broken and the demon was trying to break the 4th leg. The cow and the bull were in a very bad condition. Parikshit immediately subdued the demon and asked him what was he doing and who was he. Kali Yuga bent and bowed before the king and said, "O Lord, I am Kali Yuga. The previous Yuga has passed after Lord Krishna left for his abode. This is now my time and I am going to rule this earth now." Parikshit said, "You cannot enter my kingdom, get out of my kingdom." But Kali Yuga said, "No, as per Lord Brahma's wishes, the previous 3 yugas have ended and it is now my time. Where should I live? You have to give me some place to live." So Parikshit said, "I cannot go against wishes of Lord Brahma, so I give you 4 places to live. The house where gambling happens, the house where drinking happens, the house where prostitution happens, and wherever violence happens. You can live in these 4 places." But Kali Yuga said, "O Lord, these are not sufficient because in your kingdom these things hardly exist anywhere. You have to give me some proper place to live." Parikshit thought he can live in greed too, and thereby he said, "Okay, you can live in gold." Kali Yuga smiled internally, bowed, and disappears. But in his heart, he knew that even the king's crown is made of gold, and he entered it. The king's thinking was immediately transformed because of the Kali Yuga. One day, when Parikshit was on a hunting expedition, he somehow got separated from his men and reached a hermitage where a rishi was in deep meditation. He was thirsty and hungry, and he waited for the rishi to acknowledge his presence and give him some water to drink. But the rishi was meditating so deeply that he did not even realize that someone is here. Seeing this, Parikshit thought he is purposely ignoring me. He looked around angrily and saw a dead snake, and he lifted the snake and put it in the neck of the sage and went away from there angrily. When the rishi's son came to know about this, he got very angry, and he was a great ascetic and very powerful. He took water in his hand and cursed that Parikshit will die 7 days from today by a snake bite. By the time Parikshit reached his kingdom and took out his crown, he immediately realized what a blunder I have done. He wanted to correct it, but by that time, at the hermitage, the rishi came out of his trance, and when he came to know what his son has done, he chastised his son and said, "Why have you cursed such a good king? Now send someone immediately to warn the king about what is going to happen in 7 days." By the time the people reached there, Parikshit was already ready to go out to meet the sage. They told him that, "O king, you have been cursed to die of snake bite in 7 days from today, and since he is such a great ascetic, his curse will not go to waste. So you are going to die in 7 days." Parikshit immediately renounced the kingdom and established the next king on the throne and left. He chose to fast and prepare for death. He went to holy assemblies on the banks of river Ganga, where sages had gathered, and he approached for blessings and guidance. He wanted to know how he can attain moksha within 7 days, but nobody was able to tell him what to do. Meanwhile, Sukadeva Goswami was on his way to the river bank, and when he came here, he was the right person to guide Parikshit. Parikshit bowed and requested him, "What is the duty of a dying man? What should I do?" Sukadeva Goswami said that I can liberate you within 7 days by the telling of the Bhagwad Puran. After that, Shukdev ji started his narration. Not only Shukdev ji is narrating this to this group of people, but many other great speakers are liberating many other souls through the same narration. The teachings are stories of creation, incarnations of the Lord, and devotional path. After 7 days, as per the curse, Parikshit was bitten by the snake, and he left his body and rose to attain the moksha. Saptah Katha has a power to enable liberation. This completes the story of King Parikshit. We will close this episode now because it will become too long. In the next episode, we will discuss 2 more stories about the Mahatmya, that is the story of Bhakti Devi and the story of Atmadev Brahman. This brings us to the end of this episode. I thank you for joining me. If you like this channel, please subscribe and share with your friends. Till we meet in the next episode, Jai Shri Sitaram, Jai Shri Radha Krishna, Namaskar.